One more helpful hint for your project. What do you do when you get, and for lack of a better phrase, I'm going to call it non-cooking fractions. So you've gotten it down to one portion, and then you've found out whether I'm telling you your party size, whether it's 36 people, 50 people, 24 people, and you found out that your fraction is something of the sorts, let's say 17 over 6. How do we work with that? It's not a cooking fraction. Our first step is to put it into mixed. So 12, 2 and 5, 6. And obviously we now have 2 cups. But what do I do with the 5, 6? And there is no one method for this. It will be your comfort level with fractions, rationalizing which fractions comes first to your mind. So for me, I see the denominator sixth and I automatically think thirds, and I know I can easily work with those equivalents. You could still use quarters, potentially even halves, because now looking at 5 over 6, I know it's more than a half. So maybe, I'm just backtracking my mental process, maybe a half is a better one to use. But for now I'm going to use thirds because that was the first fraction that went to my mind because I'm comfortable with it. So I know that 2/6 is an equivalent fraction to 1/3. So looking at that, so this is what I know. And if I had 2/6 plus 2/6 equals 4/6. So that's telling me I need 2/3 of a cup, but I'm not quite at my 5/6 because now I'm out of room, but 5/6 is my goal. I have 4/6, which is 2/3 of a cup, and I have 1/6 left over. Now, from my prior practice, for example, for what we've done in the green sheet, I know that 1/6 is a really small portion of a cup. So now I'm going to think about milliliters, and how many milliliters is this? Because now I know I'm less than a quarter cup, and I'm going to have to use teaspoons or tablespoons. So I'm going to take this 1/6 and I'm going to look at what tablespoon does it represent. So if I know that, running out of room here. If I know that 1 cup is 250 milliliters, and I want 1/6 of that, I'm multiplying them, and I have 250 over 6, and my calculator, 250 divided by 6 shows me now I'm at 41.6 repeated grams, or sorry, milliliters. So now I can go and look at my, I can go look at my conversion charts and see how many tablespoons that is. And then I would need to finalize it up with actually answering the question. So I would use 2 full cups, 2 and, where's my marker? I would use 2 and 2/3 plus however many tablespoons and teaspoons it has. Now, because I briefly mentioned at the beginning, I'm the 1/2. So 5/6, if I know that that's more than 1/2, because, so my justification here is that, and I'm not going to type it because it'll take me forever on here, but I know that 1/2, 5/6 is greater than 1/2, since the 5 is greater than the 3 when I look at their common denominators. So if I subtract this out, I'm going to have 5/6 subtract times 3 times 3, 3 over 6 equals 2/6. Oh, look at this, equals 1/3. So now I conveniently know I've used a 1/2 cup measuring, a 1/3 measuring cup, and the 2 from before. It was a whole 2 at the beginning. So now I need two 1 cup measures. Let's put that properly. So you can use a 2 cup if you had the big one, or we would use 2 1 cups plus a 1/2 cup plus 1/3. And I could always check that by going 2 plus a 1/2 plus a 1/3, and this will become a 6 and a 3, a 6 and a 2. So now I have 2 and 5/6, and I know my answer was correct. So 2 different methods, 2 different amounts of measuring utensils. One might be more efficient to actually measure than the other, but both will get me the amount of ingredients that I need.